You see this majestic traffic boner that sprouted from this new website? In this video, I'm going to teach you my new project strategy so you can pop one for yourself on your next website. You're going to learn the whole process, from finding a niche to generating income as fast as possible. When starting a new SEO project, what's your number one goal above all else? Is it A, traffic, B, high Google rankings for your keywords, C, cash flow, or D, your mom? If you answered C, high five. If not, let me set you straight. Building a website has a cost to it. That could be a time cost if you're the one writing all the content, designing the website, and building backlinks yourself. Or if you're outsourcing the work, it could be a cold hard cash cost, where you're dipping into your bank account today with the goal of making more money tomorrow. In other words, it's an investment and the asset is your website. The thing is, most investments are purchased one time and then they cash flow right away. You buy a house and then you rent it out next month. What would suck is if you bought that house and then the renters wouldn't move in for 6 months. And then suppose that house started needing a bunch of work done to it, costing you to invest more each month. So you start getting frugal. Instead of fixing the tiles, you're like, man, just throw some newspaper on it. And then you're surprised why your business doesn't grow. Unfortunately, no one likes to be in the red where your expenses are more than your revenue. However, once your website is cash flowing, that's going to change your whole emotional state. You start to reinvest back into the business with high quality content, better links, and A-player help that can manage it all for you. And when you do things the right way, that's when Google sends you massive traffic. So ultimately, you want to be cash flowing as fast as possible. Not only because it feels better, but because your site will grow much faster once you're in the green. In this video, I'm going to show you the fast track to profitability. But real quick, use the link in the pinned comment to sign up for my free affiliate SEO masterclass. It goes over everything I'm doing in 2024 to rank and bank on Google. Now, mission number one is to find a high ROI niche. I want a niche that's going to cash flow in months, not years. But what do I mean by high ROI? A niche that has a high amount of earning potential versus the amount of content you need to write, we'll call this revenue per content, or a niche that has a high revenue per link ratio. Actually, you want both. Here's 2 ways to determine this. The first is to browse website marketplaces like Flippa, which give you access to this data. I've taken the following example from the affiliate SEO webinar I mentioned earlier. This website called 10 Power Up reviews power generators and makes $3,061 per month. If you do a site:/domain command on the website, you'll see that there's 321 articles, meaning a $9.53 revenue per content piece per month. Is that good? I did a data study, which we'll get to in a second, and these were the top 10 major niches. So power generators at a niche has a content ROI at top 10 levels. Another way of looking at it is every time you write a content piece, you'll earn $9.53 revenue per month from it. That's a great ROI. Check out the webinar if you want to learn more about this niche research process. Alternatively, if you're lazy and don't want to take the time to browse around website marketplaces to get this data, then check out my best affiliate niche data study. I've left a link to the study in the description. I looked at every single website Empire Flippers Marketplace has ever sold, calculated its ROI, and then reported the winners broken down into niches. Some highlights were the news and education niche has the highest average adjusted monthly revenue, meaning that it makes more per month than any other niche. Next, the baking niche sucks. It's not a piece of cake. Sorry, I had to. And the office niche has the highest ROI on link building. Now you can start building out your site. If you have a little bit of money to invest from the beginning, I'm going to show you what I do to save myself 6 months of work and reduce the chance of failure to near zero. I'm going to find and buy a website instead of building one from scratch. What I'm going to do is Google the main commercial keyword that the niche tries to monetize, like best LSAT course. Then I'm looking at websites on page 2 to 5. These are websites that Google likes, but they're probably not making a lot of money. I'm going to make these website owners an offer. Head on over to their contact page and send them an email like this. Subject line, interested in buying, insert URL here. Hi there, Matt Diggity here, CEO and founder of Diggity Marketing and affiliate SEO agency Leadspring. I'll get straight to the point. I'm interested in buying your website from you at a generous market price. All cash up front. Are you interested in selling? If so, just respond to this email and we can set up a time to talk. With any luck, you can get your hands on a cheap site that gives you a nice foundation to work from. It'll have a bunch of content that you don't need to write, a bunch of backlinks that you don't have to build, and it's already past the sandbox, so you bought yourself 6 months of time. Now you've unlocked mission number 3, the master audit. The audit to end all audits. This breaks down into 4 parts. Callback time. What goal are you trying to focus on with this new project? You remembered. Cash flow.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Because of this, the first audit you want to do is a conversion rate optimization or CRO audit. Make more money from the same amount of traffic. The great thing is that CRO makes you more money today. Not next month, not even next week, today. When it comes to affiliate product review content, you want to think about answering the search query as fast as possible. If someone searches for best LSAT prep course, they'll likely end up on this site that demonstrates this perfectly. It doesn't take long to figure out which of these courses is their editor's choice, as it's displayed clearly in a visible table above the fold. The only thing I don't like is their call to action button color, which I'll get to soon. But man, I thought time on page is a ranking factor and you want to keep people reading your content for as long as possible. That's some outdated ass advice. Google wants you to satisfy the reader. Would you be satisfied if it took you 10 damn minutes to figure out which LSAT course you should take? Google even puts out these surveys on mobile after you hit back on your browser after visiting a website. How easy was it to find what you wanted on the site? 10 minutes is not easy. 10 seconds is. I made a video that reveals my perfect quick answer website theme called I Designed the Perfect Affiliate Website. Make sure to check it out after you finish here. By the way, I'd like to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video, and that's Otis. Otis is a premium age domain marketplace and my go-to solution for domains that mean business. Their domains can give you a head start for site building and 3-in-1 redirects that can give an incredible boost in existing sites' traffic. The Otis team carefully checks each domain for quality through a strict due diligence process to ensure that they meet their highest standards. Therefore, each Otis domain contains high authority backlinks, which are hard to acquire using conventional link building techniques. This saves you time, money, and effort you'd otherwise have to invest in your site if built on a fresh domain. Oh, and Otis recently launched their Sell Your Domain service, so if you have domains that are collecting dust, you have a good chance of selling them for a profit. Sign up for Otis using the link in the description and get $100 free store credit. Now back to the video. Now let's get back to those call to action buttons. I do indeed like the text that they put on some of these buttons. Claim discount. The number one decision factor for all purchases is price. Using claim discount helps put that to rest, but they could do better. I'd recommend click for best price. It doesn't just say that there's a discount, but it implies that this is the best discount that you can possibly find. So don't look further. End your search journey here. Then we have the button color. Does this blue attract the eye? Not really, because the majority of the website is blue. It just blends in. To pop off the page, try an orange or a red. See how much of a difference that makes?
It works every time.
You can learn more about call to actions in my Make More Money with These CTAs video later. Or check out the Affiliate Lab, which has a bonus Giga module on conversion rate optimization thrown in. Next, you run a technical audit. You want to do this as soon as possible because technical issues are easy to fix, but at the same time, they could be the one thing that's responsible for holding back your website. Ahrefs has a very nice site audit tool, which displays errors in a nice GUI interface. And if you already have Ahrefs, then there's no incremental fee. You can also use Screaming Frog, which doesn't have much of an interface, but it's free for websites less than 500 URLs. Here's a list of issues you want to be on the lookout for. 1. Crawl errors. Are there certain parts of your site that are completely inaccessible by Google? 2. Or do you have pages on your site that are extremely hard to reach and are more than 4 jumps away from your homepage? 3. Missing titles and descriptions and alt tags. Did you forget to fill out all these critical places for meta info? 4. Do you have non-HTTPS URLs indexed? Quick check you can run is to Google site : your domain name, then minus HTTPS. 5. Do you have broken links? And this implies to internal links between the pages of your site and incoming external links going to pages that don't exist anymore. 6. Do you have duplicate content? This is what a SiteLiner duplicate content report looks like for diggitymarketing.com. 7. Do you have indexing issues? Are you wasting Google's crawl budget on indexing tags and images? 8. Do you have problems with schema? Make sure to always check your schema in Google's free structured data testing tool. 9. And lastly, do you have issues with your core web vitals and the overall speed of your website? Next, you want to do a content audit. There's many different types of content audits you can do, but here's my 2 favorites. This is Google's product review guidelines documentation. The second list of bullet points breaks down their specific criteria. Open up ChatGPT and tell it, summarize the following into the 5 most important criteria, then paste in the entire product review guidelines. You can also do the same thing for the helpful content guidelines, Google spam policy, whatever you want. According to ChatGPT, the product review guidelines emphasize the following 5 criteria. 1. Evaluate the product from a user's perspective. 2. Demonstrate expertise with the product. 3. Provide evidence of experience with the product. 4. Comparison to competitors. And 5. Discussion of its benefits and drawbacks based on original research. Then ask ChatGPT to evaluate the following content based on this criteria from a scale of 1 to 10, and then you insert your content. In a few seconds, ChatGPT has told me that this article did pretty good. 8s and 9s across the board, except for 7 here, which you should take action on. on. Then you should take each page on your website and toss it into Surfer's audit tool, which is going to compare your article against the top ranking articles for that keyword. Then it's going to tell you stuff like which critical words, entities, and phrases you should have in your article and at what frequencies. It'll tell you how long Google expects this article should be in order to answer the search query properly. Also, what internal links you should build to this page, and so forth. Just to demonstrate how well this works, before I carried out this audit, I was 4th for this keyword, a week later, and now I'm 2nd. Next, you want to do a link audit. And what that boils down to is figuring out which of your links are spammy and then doing a Google disavow. There's a lot of confusion on whether to use the Google disavow tool or not. Search advocate John Mueller said the following about spammy links. For the most part, when we can recognize that something is problematic in any kind of spammy link, we will try to ignore it. So they will try to ignore it, which means that some spammy links might not get ignored. Bro, take an hour out of your day and do a disavow just for the peace of mind, if anything. We just released a module on link disavow in the affiliate lab if you want to learn more. Now that you've done your audit, it's time to get nuclear with your website and grow the living shit out of it. In a nutshell, SEO growth boils down to 2 primary tasks: content and links. Let's dive into content first. Hear me out. If you want explosive organic traffic growth, you need to become a topical authority in your niche before the next Google core algorithm update. Let's unpack this. If you write 1 or 2 articles on a topic, Google will be like,
"Who cares? No big deal. I want more."
That's right, they want more. But once you start covering every topic in a niche, Google has no choice but to deem you a topical authority for that niche. And then your ranking power in that category goes giga mode. Topical authority is category specific. For example, my website Diggity Marketing is a topical authority on affiliate marketing. I can write literally anything I want on affiliate marketing and chances are it will make it to the first page of Google. The thing is, topical authority refreshes on Google core algorithm updates. It's then when they look at your site to see how much topical coverage you have. So between those gaps, you want to focus on one sub-niche at a time, and you want to complete it as fast as you can before the next update. That's why AI content is so powerful. For example, with Surfer AI, you can get articles written in minutes for pennies on the dollar compared to manual writers that you need to hire and manage individually. But before you start writing, you need a map of your content plan. You need to know what all needs to be written. This is called creating a topical map. For a quick and dirty way to make a topical map using ChatGPT, after you finish here, watch my video called ChatGPT just made Google SEO 10x easier. It's not going to be the most complete topical map, but it's going to be enough to get you started, which is what's important. If you want me to generate the real deal for you, head over to leadspring.org, topical-map-service, and I'll get you sorted. Now let's dive into link building. Links have always been the jet fuel behind website growth, ever since they baked PageRank into the algorithm, which basically says pages that have more links rank higher. There's an extremely simple way that I like to look at backlinks for a new website. I break down my link requirements into 2 categories. On the left, we have high relevance, high volume links. I don't care too much about getting the most powerful links in this category, I just want a lot of them. This would come from outreach to relevant niche sites via guest posting, link insertions, and link exchanges. And for these, I'll either build these in-house or use authority builders to build for me. Then on the right, we have low relevance, high authority links. I'm talking about links from sites like Forbes or AmericanExpress.com, which might not have anything to do with my hosting review site, but they're going to build the T, trust, and EAT. To build these, I'm going to be utilizing Haro or digital PR, which is creating viral stories that get picked up by journalists. And I'm building Haro links in-house and using Fairy and the smart cats at searchintelligence.co.uk for all my digital PR. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more videos just like this one.